Welcome, Adrian.
Hey Rob, how are you? Thanks
Great,
for having me.
great. It's finally happening. We had to postpone this a couple times. I got stuck with COVID, so I was at home and I thought I could do it, but I couldn't. So thanks for postponing it a little bit. And finally, it's so great to see you.
Yeah, thanks, bud. We were supposed to get into it last week, and then you were down and out there for a few days, obviously, in the family. But good to see you're
Yeah,
doing better.
yeah.
Obviously,
Like
family's good.
everybody's great. Thank you. So before we start, I just want to welcome everybody. And today I have the pleasure of speaking to Adrian Panozzo, aka Mr. Cashflow, and he's going to tell us why that he made the move to EXP with us. So Adrian, a little bit about him. His passions include helping others build generational wealth. He has created some pretty amazing methods to buy, renovate, and refinance. He's the founder and co-owner of Executive Properties Inc., founder of Investors Edge Construction Management and Executive Properties Capital. He has a great portfolio of around 70 properties now, Adrian.
Just shy 68, just shy 70.
Sorry, it's 68. And that's equivalent to over 350 doors. His property management company, I think you guys are over 600 now, at least,
Give
right?
or take, yeah, they're managing just about that.
Yeah. So Mr. Cashflow, he likes to buy, renovate, and refinance. And he was also a police officer. So you retired from that, and you were able to do that based on what you're doing now, which is amazing.
Yeah, so getting right into it, Rob, a little bit, I guess, a little history about myself. I was hired in the GTA as a police officer. I was young, ripe age of 23 years old. I got hired as a police officer, so that was my passion back then, and I lasted 21 years on the force. And because of my investments in real estate, which started 11 years ago, I was able to retire early from the police department, and I developed a passion for real estate, which led me from the police world to the real estate world. And not only a passion for investing, but obviously a passion to work with different people and sell real estate and obviously transact and whatnot, and led me to obviously becoming a licensed realtor. I've been licensed now for 5 years, just over 5 years, buying real estate for almost 11, but licensed realtor for 5. And recently made the move to EXP from a traditional brokerage prior to that. So that kind of is a fast forward nutshell on where I came from in the police world to real estate investing to licensed realtor to ultimately meeting you, Rob, which, quite honestly was a great influence for me to think outside the box, sort of speak, and look at EXP as a viable brokerage to become a part of. So we kind of connected, and I guess, yeah, you can take it from there, Rob, but obviously our friendship progressed and led us to where we are today.
Well, just to start off, like when we first met and we were talking, like we met at a lot of the same functions, and it was the investment things that were happening, and some of them, like, your team was putting on them, and I just loved being a part of that kind of knowledge and atmosphere. So you were always somebody that I really respected in the industry, and I when we first met, I was still at the same brokerage you were, right? So we met like generally as people that had common interests, which I think is the best way. So how did you get into such a high level of real estate investing? Like, it's probably one of the most impressive things. And I remember getting an email and saying that you were going to be at the event, and it was somewhere in I think the York region. It was the David Buster's we went to. It was
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was snowing out, and I came out because I wanted to meet you. But But how do you go from, being on the police force to say, okay, I want to own 70 properties?
Yeah. So we started to buy investment properties, multifamily investment properties, triplexes, fourplexes, and 10-unit buildings and whatnot. We started to buy those 11 years ago, like I mentioned, and things went really well. I mean, long story short, things went really well. A lot of the investments we bought 10 years ago passively appreciated, and led us to financial freedom. And I like to say time freedom as well because of those investments. We then it became lucrative, and then we started to joint venture. We started to partner with like-minded investors and bring opportunities to them, some great opportunities to them, where we would incorporate all of the knowledge and techniques we've learned at a high level with the BRRRR strategy, the buy, renovate, refinance, and rent strategy. And that enabled us to deliver incredible returns to our joint venture partners. And word spread quick that these guys are in the know, these guys are doing this at a high level, and we're pumping back returns of 80, 90, 100% ROI on your money. And, when you're delivering that to your passive joint venture partners, hey, do you want to make 80, 90, 100% return on your money? Word traveled pretty quick, which ultimately enabled us to build this portfolio of over 350 units.
Yeah, it was a no-brainer, and that's why when I saw it, I was attracted to it, and I says, I got to meet this guy. I got to figure out what he's doing, and maybe I'll do a couple JVs with this guy and learn everything I need to know and try to go do it on my own. And then the more we sat down together, the more we realized we had a lot in common. And I said, man, I can't do what he does. I got to join him. I got to figure out a way to get in business with him.
Right.
Yeah.
And that kind of led us to our relationship now that we embarked on. And it's gone well. And I think that was also an influence too. And you started educating me on the EXP model and the benefits of the brokerage and whatnot. And it really resonated with me. So I think that played a big part in it as well, as our business relationship, friendship grew in that regard.
So what attracted you most about the model when I was talking to you about it?
I'd been part or business partners previous to this situation. I'd been business partners with somebody who we owned quite a large team together in Hamilton. And I witnessed my business partner at the time starting to open up and really engaging in starting new brokerages under this traditional brokerage, not EXP, and saw, obviously it was very interesting, but saw all the red tape behind, what a traditional brokerage, the hoops you got to jump through to open up an office and everything to do with that. And then in speaking with you, Robert, my goal, my vision, accompanied with yours, was to begin opening up these offices, brokerages / I think
agent hub.
Yes, I was looking for that word.
Yeah.
Agent hub offices, and in providing that education to me, and it's much easier in that regard to facilitate that, because the dream was to have multiple locations in the EXP world, in that space across, not only Hamilton, but the GTA for that matter. You could do that across the world, as I've come to be educated on as well. So just the freedom to open up these real estate hubs with not as much red tape as a traditional brokerage for me was overwhelmingly attractive because I saw what my former business partner had to go through to facilitate that with that particular brokerage. And obviously, just as important, the multiple streams of income that are created under the EXP model, obviously, as well, talking rev share, which is huge. And then also being awarded stocks within the company as well was for me was the icing on the cake. So transacting at a high level in the space of opening up these other offices, which, as you know, we're in the process of doing right now. And then above and beyond that, the rev share, the multiple streams of income, the stock, component of the brokerage as well, just made it all make sense to me. And that's why I made the switch.
Cool. So when you're looking at it, the traditional franchise model where you're opening up, and going to the parent company and paying a fee to be a franchise and having the whole royalty and dealing with the whole administration aspects that I know I never wanted to have any of that as well. And then you look at what we're doing at EXP, where we have 600 employees for EXP that are there servicing us. I guess that was part of the reason why you looked at it and said, hey, this is way more attractive, because I'm sure you don't want to be a broker manager, do you?
Not even close. No, not even close. I want to continue building an empire that we've been at for the last 10 years, and like I said, we have that vision of opening up these offices across the GTA with less than half of the red tape and whatnot of your traditional brokerage and the hoops you got to jump through. So yeah, that was most attractive.
Nice. So what's next for EPC and you at EXP now? Like, what's the next goals? Are you looking to go from 68 doors to 150 doors? Are you looking to
sky's the limit. We have a model, like I said, and being in the game for 11 years, we have a model that we've perfected, and that's the BRRRR model that we've perfected, not only on, the smaller acquisitions from the tris and the quads, but all the way up, just at the end of 2021, our biggest purchase, joint venture purchase, 45 unit building. So we're starting to enter into some bigger acquisitions as well, and still delivering incredible 80, 90 infinite returns. When you're delivering those kinds of returns, sky's the limit. So knock on wood, we're going to continue at this pace. We were involved in just over 30 or so projects, BRRRR projects just last year, where we were batting 100% on delivering these kinds of returns. Ultimately, I'd love to be able to continue to deliver that at a high level and attract a bunch of new investors, a bunch of agents who are interested in investing, and or even just having a coffee and talking about where we're going from here and how they can be a part of the team and continue maybe to grow their portfolio or their business as well, coming under our model.
Yeah. I remember a quick little story, like when we went out a couple times and you were showing me some properties and stuff like that. And we were looking at different properties, and then you're like, oh yeah, see that one there? I own that one. See that one there? I own that one. And I was just like, this guy is like amazing, because some of those properties, like they're the nicest, cleanest properties, because you really force some appreciation on them and get some good tenants on there. So good on you. That's
we've been very fortunate. Maybe a little bit of knowledge, maybe a lot of knowledge and a little bit of luck combined. We've been able to scale something that I never thought. I thought I'd still be driving a cruiser today, so to speak, but having the luxury of things going well and a lot of hard work and dedication. And we all know it's not about always winning, it's about failing too. And it hasn't been a whole road of roses, but what do they say? You fail forward. And,
Absolutely.
Failure sometimes it's part of life, and it helps you grow as a professional, as a person, as a business entrepreneur. So I take my failures, and I think that's too why I'm successful, because we always learn from failure and we always continue to grow. And I think that's part of our success as well, is we take it and we fail forward and we continue to push. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah. So like, tell me about that. Like, was there a project that, completely went sideways and, you had to pull out, or you just always figured out a way to make it happen?
We, at the early onset, before we started our own construction company, we were relying on, quite frankly, we didn't have a system in place to have reputable contractors. And there's a few instances when we started doing the BRRRR at a high level, we were, quite frankly, just trying to scrounge people from Kijiji, different contractors. And, I got burned for a lot of money in my early projects that, it stung. And, everybody's got a bad story about a general contractor, so to speak. And I was one of those situations that, I probably lost about $100,000 on a couple of projects where, they took the money and run, or the project was supposed to be finished in 3 months and it took 13 months, and on and on and on. So those instances, I learned a lot. And, that's when the light bulb went off, and we started our own construction company to really have that peace of mind that we're able to control that at a high level in our organization. So now we're not on Kijiji. These are our people working on our projects, working on our homes, and we're able to deliver that peace of mind, not only for us, but our joint venture partners, that, hey, this is all in-house. We're not, going outside of our circle, and it keeps it really tight and it makes it work.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit more about the offices that we're opening and that we want to open. Not only are we creating a sub brokerage per se, but we're actually investing in real estate. And with some of the connections that you have and then I have, tell people like of some of these opportunities on the real estate side.
Yeah, so obviously there's that joint venture component where we do have buildings we're looking at, commercial buildings we're looking at to house these offices across the GTA. And we're looking for partners to come in and be part of our team, be part of the, if you want to be part of the purchase, be part of the ownership structure and of the building per se, and then helping us grow that in that space with go-getters and high-performing people like ourselves that have the same vision. Love to carry on a conversation, maybe even more in pride on that regard. We've already, I don't know if it's premature to say it now, but as you know, we've already purchased a building that we take possession in the very near future, and that will be our first office that you and I have embarked on. So yeah, sky's the limit. I mean, if you know numbers, and I like to say we know numbers, and you have that vision and you have the support team behind you, the construction, the property management, the investments, the knowledge, put it all together, I think we have a really, really solid opportunity for a lot of different kind of people, a lot of different kind of agents or investors for that matter, who want to jump on board and get into it with us, because we've proven, and I have so many examples, we can prove the, what's the word I'm looking for? We can prove the success we have. And I've had, you've had, obviously you've started another satellite office in Mississauga that you've grown a massive team. So, I mean, combined, sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm. And so you're actually looking at agents that are at a, like, let's say a high producing level that want to partner with you and us to open up some of these offices in different regions that and so they could actually be a part of the real estate and the office and the whole EXP passive income part of it as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you and I have discussed that and how that would look, to potential investors or slash agents, team members and whatnot. So yeah, if anybody listening is interested in diving into that conversation further over a private coffee with you and I or
Sure.
whatnot, obviously more than willing to entertain that and see how they can get involved with what we got going on, which is obviously super exciting.
Yeah. And just tell us like a little bit about when we are buying the properties, like what kind of financial commitments are we doing to acquire these properties? Are you able to do that, buy, renovate, and take out all the money out of the properties, or is this something where it's going to be a lot more costly for agents to get into?
No, like I said, our business model really stands on the buy, renovate, refinance, and rent. We don't like to leave any money in any properties. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're so popular, because when you're producing 80, 90, 100 infinite return on money, on your capital, it's a no-brainer. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
ultimately we own that acquisition, and like Rob, we don't really get involved in too many acquisitions that don't cash flow. There's
Right.
got to be a positive cash flow component to it as well, where I'm not looking to be negative cash flow a month and having to inject. I want to have no money left in on the deal, and I want to cash flow, and I want to create infinite return. So that's what we're all about. And if anybody has any interest in diving into that a little deeper and dissecting it, love to sit down, Zoom, person, coffee, lunch. Let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you for that. That was really good information, Adrian, and I think we touched upon a lot of good points. Just before we do leave, like, what do you like to do for fun?
What do I love to do for fun? I'm a workaholic, believe it or not, like most of us are. But yeah, what I like to travel. Obviously, haven't done much of that as of late because of COVID. But yeah, my wife and I typically travel 5 times, 6 times a year. I love spending time with my family, and I love spending time up north at the cottage.
Yeah.
It's my getaway, and it really just clears your mind for that weekend or the day or two you're up north and whatnot. And I love to work out. I think physical health and mental health is super important. So I'm typically in the gym 4 or 5 days a week, even if it's just to sweat it out and do some cardio. But it keeps your mind active and whatnot. And lastly, real estate for me is fun. It's fun. It's not hard work when you know what you're doing. It's fun, and getting a deal done for me is fun. Getting an investor 100% return, that's fun. It's easy, it's lucrative, and it's fun. It's not like having to sweat it out in a trench and whatnot. So
Absolutely.
that's me.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's why we resonate, because I believe that if you're doing something that you love every day, you don't work a day in your life.
Exactly.
So you know what? Well, Adrian, it was really nice to finally do this, and
Absolutely.
we talk quite a bit, but it's good to get out and do these things as well. So if anybody wants to reach out to Adrian, please reach out after this. We were definitely looking for expansion partners, people that want to grow their business, people that are either want to take their business to the next level, or maybe not just work as hard as they were working before, because I find this business can be lonely sometimes.
Absolutely.
So
Couldn't
it's
agree
good,
more about it.
yeah, it's good to have some connections, and we've had a few nice dinners already. It was good. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. All right, Adrian, thanks so much. I think we'll cut it here, and I appreciate you coming on the call, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Cheers. Thank
All
you.
right, take care.